A long time ago, before they had PS3s and TV and anything else like that, there were two childhood sweethearts from different tribes who weren't allowed to be together. Luckily for them, their love conquered all, just like Romeo and Juliet, and they married. Now she was beautiful, like she was hot beautiful, and he was spunky as. They fell in love, they got married, and they thought that was life. They're going to live together happily ever after for the rest of their life. Unfortunately, she was so hot that the Tuwharetoa people wanted her as their queen to rule over them, which meant her actually living in their part of the village. Now she didn't go willingly, so they kidnapped her. These Tuwharetoa people had magic powers, so they could actually fly across the sky with her hot warrior dude on the ground like looking up. Now that hot warrior dude, he could have had any woman that he wanted in his iwi, but he loved her. So he thought, hell no, I'm going to follow her. So he asked his people who were really good in the art of making kites, Māori kites. They made it out of flax. He strapped it to his back, and they thought, no boy, it's going to be a long journey. Here you're going to need some kai along the way. So they gave him 7 eggs, which are ki, to help him along his journey. So he held on to that, strapped the kite to his back, and of course the wind beneath the kite's wings ended up making him fly. Now that kite was mean, because pretty soon, even though those Tuwharetoa people had a head start on him with his woman, he caught up to them. In fact, he could smell them, he was that close. Now the Tuwharetoa people, they didn't look behind, but they thought, oh, something's wrong, I feel like someone's behind me. So they happened to look behind, and sure enough, our hot dude warrior prince was after his wife. They thought, hell no boy, you're not going to get this woman, she's ours. So you know how hot it is with one sun in the sky? You know, today is going to be pretty hot. Well, you imagine with 2 suns up there, boiling hot. Now the sun was so hot that our poor flax kite didn't stand a chance. So it ended up burning on his back and he fell to the ground. Now as he was falling, he should have got smashed. But luckily his father, who was a tohunga, set a karakia for him to make him land on the ground without killing him. Now the tohunga didn't say don't damage him or anything, he just says please don't kill my boy. Now as he was falling, the kai that he had in his arms, it actually tipped upside down, this basket of kai. And those 7 eggs that you see around the field, which are called po, they dropped from the sky. Now they happen to drop in a circular pattern that you see around there. And if you have a look, there's 7 of them set up in a nice circular pattern, and some people say it's also the stars of Matariki that have fell down from the sky. Anyway, what happens to our hot dude prince? You've got your po set around the field, our hot dude prince, he goes smash to the ground. Luckily for him, a karakia protects him from death, but it doesn't protect him from being quite hurt. So he lands on the ground, but remember those 2 suns are still up there. The ground is now like a desert. The ground is hard, the grass is all brown. There's only some patches here you can see, but everywhere it was. So he lands with a thud. And as he lands, he's thinking, man, I'm done for, I'm dead. It's hot as, he's got no shade. And he looks, and his tohunga father had actually placed a rock, a big rock, which you see there in the middle, which is our tipu. It actually placed it in the middle for him to protect him from the 2 suns that were up there. Now he wasn't close to it, so he actually had to crawl along the ground, okay, our hot dude first, until he got to the tipu, or that rock that's in the middle. Now when he did crawl over there, he thought, oh, he hid beneath it as it protected him. He thought, I can get better. I'll suck it all in, and I'll be alright. Unfortunately, the Tuwharetoa people had looked back and seen that he was still alive, not on the ground smashed up and bleeding. They didn't like that. So they sent a taniwha, or a lizard. Now back in those days, we know taniwha usually in the water, eh? They actually roamed on the earth, on land. Now when they sent the taniwha for him, our hot dude prince was by the rock. He had no barrier, so of course the taniwha would have killed him. But again, his tohunga father said another karakia and asked for protection for his son from the taniwha. A beautiful hamu, a big ass bird, comes and lands on the tipu with his gigantic Ben 10 force wings and protects our prince, our warrior. So you will see when you go go over to the tipu today. Last time I had to pull you guys up on your butts touching the tipu. Today we're going to imagine that those big huge wings are actually there. So from the tipu, we've come out 5 paces, which is how big the wings would have been of the hamu. And inside the hamu, where that rock is where our hot dude prince would have been. Today, that's where he is, so no one's allowed inside there. So there's no chance that anybody's going to touch their bum on that tipu today, unless it's like real big. Ever seen one like that? So anyway, he's there. The taniwha, all the lizard starts coming across and says, yeah, I'm going to get you, boy. And our hot dude warrior prince is there, sitting there trying to protect himself, because he doesn't know that the eagle or the bird has landed. He doesn't know he's being protected by this big hamu. Anyway, the lizard starts coming across, like slithering, its tail whacking everywhere. Thinks to itself, man, this is an easy target. I can kill him, no sweat. Leans forward and he starts shooting those you know how you have spikes, the lizard has spikes on his back? Well, he actually starts shooting it at our warrior. Now our warrior covers himself because he thinks he's going to get killed. Luckily for him, that BNT force, protection from his father, starts rebounding. It's pew, pew, pew. That's what it's doing while they're shooting it at him. Now the taniwha can't see the eagle there either. So he's like, oh, what's going on? I'm not affecting him. So he starts getting really angry. And he starts running round and around. You'll see when you get there, that's right in a circle. And he's like, pew, 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 right around, pew, pew, pew. Still no effect. What the hell, what's wrong? I know, I'm going to face him straight up. So he goes as close as he can to our hot dude warrior, leans forward, and with the final spike that's on the top of his head, he looks him in the eye, thinking he's going to kill him, and he shoots it. Unfortunately, let's say that Phoenix here is our hot dude warrior prince. Okay, I'm the taniwha. I shoot the spike. He thinks he's dying. The spike comes back, cuts off his neck, and the taniwha ends up falling into the roto, which is the river. Now by now, the sweat and the anger from our taniwha has actually made water. And that's why it's called kiroto. Okay? Now from there, that hot dude warrior prince, he doesn't know what's going on. He's just thinking, man, I'm still alive. Until he hears another karakia. Luckily for him, his father makes another bridge, and our hot dude warrior prince is rescued by his whānau and walked across to the other side. And when you know where you kick the key from, the ball, that's actually where he makes it, and he starts searching for his missus again. I'm not sure if he finds her, I'm sure there's another legend, but that's where he starts the search. And that's how Ki-O-Rahi was made, from that legend. And every now and then, back in the old days, instead of using their taiha and weapons to fight each other, because iwi would do that, they'd fight. They thought, let's play this game of Ki-O-Rahi. So today we get to carry on that kaupapa that our ancestors used all the way back then to solve their arguments. And when they hopped off the field, of course, there was no arguing after. And that's our legend. Now the cool thing, I know that you guys are versing in classes, you will find in no other sport is that we always start with tatu. And tatu is where our two opposite classes who are versing each other, they stand across. At first you're like sussing each other out, but the purpose of it is for you to say, hey bro, is it alright if I do this? Is it alright if I step inside kiroto? Is it alright if I goose guard the po? That's where you ask your other team that you're playing. Rather than the ref saying, nah, you're going to do this, this, this and this. You guys decide. So you find a game that actually does that, the shearing. Cool. Terrorista!
And do the Harlem Shake. Shake.